Alright, this past week I went on a 40 plus hour fast for Pearl Harbor. Actually, I did 42 hours. My goal was to do 2,403 minutes, one for each victim of Pearl Harbor 80 years ago. Back on September 11th, I went on a 61-hour fast. Even though the goal was only 49 some hours, it was 2,996 minutes, obviously. And then I had a few other long fasts in between. I did one for Evelina Falenta's birthday. You might not know her. She's not internationally all that famous. She's the second place runner-up of Polish Idol Season 1. But more importantly, I like how she doesn't let being single slow her career down, right? And so I went on a 42-hour fast in honor of her 42nd birthday. When else did I do a long fast like that? I call it long when it stretches a whole waking day and goes into the next days, right? I did one for the birthday of the Arabic idol, Diana Karazan. And anyways, I did a number of 40-some hour fasts. Now, one thing I learned is that a 40-hour fast is considerably, or even a 32-hour fast is considerably more difficult than a 24-hour fast because of one activity I have to do while fasted: sleeping. Now, over the last year, I've learned to do a lot of things without a full stomach. One of the hardest things, if you can believe it, one of the hardest things to do at the beginning of my fasting career, which I started 2 years ago, one of the hardest things was that I would instinctively, accidentally break the fast without even thinking about it. I just reach. That first day of the fast back in 2020, I couldn't leave stuff like baking chocolate just outright. I would instinctively reach for it. So I had to put all this in a safe place, right? I would put it into a cabinet or somewhere where at least I have to be more deliberate with the action, right? And then my hands would still want to reach for stuff. I'd be in the middle of wanting to do something else. You can probably ask some of my tutoring clients, right? They remember me instinctively, my hands flying in the air, and just wanting to reach for something and not knowing where to put my hands, right? I didn't take long to get over that habit. I remember at the beginning trying to think about what other tasks would be difficult to do. I imagined myself having a hard time getting out of bed, going to work, driving especially. I thought for sure it would be kind of like drunk driving, right? My mental state wouldn't be correct. That wasn't hard to get over, though. The hardest things to get over were probably social situations, right? Fortunately, 2020 was a very slow social year, right? Or the fasting could have been a whole lot harder. Having to explain to people why I'm not eating, refusing food, having to change various tasks, right? Instead of meeting up for lunch, we should meet up for bowling instead, right? Having to do that was probably more challenging than the physical or even the psychological aspects of fasting. Now, I've come to really love fasting because of something that a habit that I developed. See, early on when I had those challenges from fasting, I would need to distract myself, right? Which meant that I did a lot of things that were outside of my comfort zone. First of all, I often distracted myself by, you gotta remember, 2020, I was sitting at home writing computer games, and I would be hungry or having cravings, or my hands would be reaching for stuff, and I would write a computer game to distract myself from it. It's gotten so bad that, or so good that nowadays, when I get hungry or have a food craving, the first thing I think about is what do I do to distract myself, whether it's writing a new computer game, whether it's picking up the phone and calling a friend, or now in 2021, going out to see the friend. You know, it's kind of funny. I hardly associate hunger with food anymore, unless it's a very extreme hunger. For some reason, though, going to sleep on an empty stomach has been kind of challenging for me, and that's one thing that the next rung of the ladder that I hope to climb in my intermittent fasting.